The use of local anesthetics by dentists has become so widespread that the majority of treatment procedures will now be done using them. Although anesthetics rarely fail, there are still problems in 5 to 15% of cases, most commonly due to inflammation. Under these circumstances, there are no fail-safe techniques, no matter who is giving the anesthetic. So it is vitally important that the practitioner is highly skilled in a wide range of techniques so that they are able to combine them when working under difficult clinical conditions. This film will discuss the anatomical basis of the various intraoral anesthetic techniques. The use of local anesthetics by dentists has become so widespread that the majority of treatment procedures will now be done using them. Although anesthetics rarely fail, there are still problems in 5 to 15% of cases, most commonly due to inflammation. Under these circumstances, there are no fail-safe techniques, no matter who is giving the anesthetic. So it is vitally important that the practitioner is highly skilled in a wide range of techniques so that they are able to combine them when working under difficult clinical conditions. This film will discuss the anatomical basis of the various intraoral anesthetic techniques. Three of the basic pharmacological properties of local anesthetic molecules are derived from their physicochemical structure: the onset of action of the anesthetic, the duration of analgesia, and the potency of the anesthetic. Molecules of anesthetics have both lipophilic properties, hydrophilic properties, both related to their three-part structure. An unsaturated ring of various types, benzoic, aniline, or thiophene derivatives, responsible for the lipophilic properties. A secondary or tertiary amine group in an ionized form, giving the molecule hydrophilic properties. An intermediate chain of two different chemical natures, which divides local anesthetic molecules into groups. Ester-link anesthetics belong to the amino-ester anesthetics, the most important of which is procaine. Amide-link anesthetics belong to the amino-amide anesthetics, the most important of which is lidocaine. Amino-ester anesthetics are now less commonly used than amide-linked local anesthetics, which are more powerful and very rarely cause allergic reactions. The nature of the intermediate chain also determines the degradation route of the drug. Since the esters are rapidly biotransformed by the plasma pseudocholinesterases, the amides are broken down more slowly, mainly in the liver. The duration of action of a local anesthetic depends upon the degree of protein binding, the vascularization of the injection site, and the intrinsic vasoactive properties of the drugs. The inherent potency of local anesthetic molecules is strongly correlated to the liposolubility of the substances. The variations seen may be due to various factors such as the molecule's vasoactive properties and their degree of ionization. It is very beneficial to use a vasoconstrictor in conjunction with the local anesthetic. This should always be done unless there is, in rare cases, an absolute contraindication, such as pheochromocytoma, tumor of the adrenal medulla, or injection into an irradiated area of a dose above 40 grays and the contraindications given in the product information leaflet. A vasoconstrictor will counterbalance the intrinsic vasodilating action of the anesthetic molecules, reduce the systemic absorption rate by maintaining a subtoxic plasma concentration, increase the duration and depth of anesthesia by prolonging the contact time between the anesthetic and nerve tissue, reduce bleeding, limit the endogenous release of catecholamines by giving better pain control and therefore reducing stress levels. These days, the vasoconstrictor of choice is adrenaline. The concentrations normally used vary between 180,000 to 200,000, and it has been widely reported that, at these doses, it is well tolerated and safe to use as long as a strict injection protocol is adhered to, which must include a test aspiration and a slow injection speed of 1 milliliter per minute. Two of the amide anesthetics that are indicated for dental local or local regional anesthesia are presented in this film. These are articaine and mepivacaine. Articaine, the latest addition to the family of amide anesthetics. It received marketing authorization in Europe in the mid-70s and in 2000 in the United States. Articaine is the only local anesthetic to possess a thiophene ring as its lipophilic moiety. It has a unique catabolism for an amide compound, as it is the only one to be biotransformed in the liver and also broken down by the plasma esterases. Its vasodilating properties are similar to those of lidocaine. There are formulations that associate articaine with adrenaline at dosage 1/100,000 or 1/200,000. Mepivacaine is distinctive as it has a slight intrinsic vasoconstricting activity, so it can be used without a vasoconstrictor, providing a comfortable intervention. The standard equipment needed to administer local anesthetics in dentistry basically consists of three components: the syringe, the needle, and the cartridge, which contains the anesthetic solution. To avoid the risk of intravascular injections, the syringe must have a device allowing aspiration. The self-aspirating syringe has a metallic protuberance in the interior. The thin rubber diaphragm of the cartridge rests against this protuberance. Each time you press down with your thumb on the plunger, the cartridge diaphragm is compressed. When released, the negative pressure automatically provides aspiration. Sterile injection systems with a protective shelf, also called safety syringes. Sterile, single-use, safety syringes have recently come onto the market, the main aim of which is to minimize the risk of accidental needle stick injury to the dentist or personnel with a needle contaminated by using the patient's mouth. The unit is fitted onto the autoclavable syringe handle, and then a sliding shelf protects the needle before and after use. It is strongly recommended that these devices are used routinely, and they have rapidly gained in popularity. There is a detailed presentation of the Safety Plus in a separate section. The Anaject is the most compact type of electronically controlled injection systems. You will find a detailed presentation of this equipment in a specific section. Made of stainless steel and siliconized, needles consist of a hollow metal cannula, which may vary in length and gauge with a bevel at one end, a drop of glue fixing the needle to the plastic threaded hub, which is screwed onto the syringe. Two factors must be taken into consideration. The gauge of the needle refers to its external diameter. Using this scale, the number denoting the gauge is inversely proportional to the diameter of the needle. The smaller the number, the larger the gauge of the needle. The most commonly used gauge are 25 gauge, 27 gauge, and 30 gauge. 25 gauge needles are recommended for regional blocks, as there is minimal deflection of the needle and aspiration is easier and reproducible. A 27 gauge needle is used for all other injection techniques. Septodent XL needle have an external diameter identical to standard needle, but the internal diameter is larger, so the pressure is reduced for an equivalent output. The needle lengths are available. Long needles, 32 to 40 millimeters, are only used for regional blocks. Short needles, 16 to 25 millimeters, are the most commonly used. Ultra-short needles, 8 to 12 millimeters, are used for intraligament and transcortical injections. They must be kept in their original packaging until used and stored away from light. They must not be autoclaved. It is recommended to clean the diaphragm with an alcohol-impregnated wipe before giving the injection. The patient should be given a chlorhexidine mouthwash before any procedures are done. This will decontaminate the buccal mucosa. A sterile gauze pad should be used to wipe and dry the tissues. This will remove any debris, facilitate retraction, and improve visibility. Applying a topical antiseptic is now considered an optional step when preparing the tissues before an intraoral injection. For any procedures in the mouth, you must use sterile materials in good working order. The use of single-use material is growing and is highly recommended for intraoral anesthesia. The use of electronically controlled injection systems looks promising, providing additional safety, comfort, and effectiveness with Aneject. Firstly, the patient must fill out a medical questionnaire giving information on their health, any drugs they are taking, and whether they have previously had any reactions to anesthetics during or after anesthetic procedure. They are then taken to the oral hygiene